What's up, everybody? Andrew with NQS Performance Outdoors, coming to you from the basement workshop again. You guys, this is a long overdue video. I know I've been promising this one for a long time. The idea for this video actually came from a viewer. He had requested to see an entire rod build from start to finish. Today's the day we're going to start that process. I'm going to take you on the journey from the basics of mapping out your handle, installing the rod seat, guide installation, proper guide spacing, finishing the guide wraps once they're on, and I think what we'll do is we'll even take a look at decorative wraps, give you guys a sense for what the decorative wraps are all about. Probably going to end up splitting this up into a few different videos just for time purposes, but I'm hoping you guys can get some good information out of these videos, some tips, tricks. The goal here is just to pass along some of the knowledge that I've gained. I know when you're new to the rod building scene, there's lots of questions, there's a big learning curve, so hopefully we can cut that learning curve down for you and get you started on the right path. If you guys have questions, don't be afraid to ask. I'm happy to do my best to answer those for you, but I think that's enough talk. Let's get started. Let's get this rod going. Alright, you guys, so the first thing I'm going to want to do is mark where my first guide from Beyond the Handle is going to be. This is a blank that I've built on before, so I've got some pretty good notes on it. I know from past experience that my guide is going to be at 41 3/4 of an inch from the tip, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to get that measured out. 41 3/4, just using a China marker here. And then I also know from previous experience that I'm going to want the front of my reel seat to be approximately 17.5, maybe 18 inches from that first guide. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to mark that spot as well. 17 3/4 is going to be right there. And now I can kind of go ahead and get the rest of my handle mapped out. And I'm just going to kind of mock it up. I know the front of my rod seat's going to line up with the China marker. Going to mark the back of my reel seat. I've got my back piece of cork. Going to get a mark on that right there. And then I'm also going to mark the front end of my foregrip. Alright, you guys, I'm just going to try to zoom in on this a little bit, try to keep my shadow out of there as best you can. But basically what I did is I knew where this line had to be from previous builds, so then I just took my cork and my reel seat and I laid it out and got some lines on there with the China marker. Obviously down here, we're going to have to pull that MHX sticker off of there because that sticker is longer than the piece of cork that's going to go on for the fighting butt. But we'll get that off of there, a little denatured alcohol, get any of the sticky residue off, and then we can move forward. Alright, as you guys can see, mapping out the handle itself is relatively simple. Normally at this point in the build, what I would do is I would go ahead and start reaming out the cork and gluing those pieces into place. However, in this case, I want to do a small diamond wrap down in the split grip section of the handle. I don't want any trim bands because it's going to be a shorter split grip. I just want the diamond wrap to be the focal point. So I'm going to do the diamond wrap first, and that's going to allow me to hide my trim bands underneath the cork so that they're not visible at all. So stay tuned for the next video, guys. We're going to lay out that decorative wrap. I'll show you how that process all works, and then we'll start getting the handle glued into place. Thanks for watching. Tight lines, everybody.